Along with this is another reason why being outside is so important. You move 20 times faster when you see the people that you're working with in real life do the thing that you want to do. If you want to grind on ecom and you want to do it on your own, at your own house, at your own speed, with like a private coach, there's not someone holding you accountable throughout the whole day compared to if you moved in with 7 people doing the same thing in ecom, grinding to make sure that their store works. You guys are constantly getting that reinforcement of that task, and eventually you become the guy who does it as well. The secret is just moving in with guys who are doing the same task that you want to do and just locking in on that. And you need to be together, and you need to go out. You need to go out to meet these people. You're not going to make it in ecom when there's guys against you who are working together, who already have this strong network of people. They're in the same freaking room. And this goes for anything. If you just want to get better at a sport, if you just want to get better at anything, you need to surround yourself with the environment. And you can't be around, even if they're right? There's this guy that I speak to, and he's doing YouTube online. He's just an online friend. I don't really know him, right? And he's telling me these Discord, we're talking on Discord, and he's telling me these chats about, and showed me a bunch of Reddit posts about how gaining traction on YouTube is much harder because of the algorithm and like the updates in 2025, and it's overall very, very competitive to become a YouTuber, and it's not really in the cards, and it's not the best idea to do. And here's the thing, man. And like he would cite like a bunch of sources and data and all this, and the thing is his opinion doesn't get me anywhere, right? And of course, you want to hear people out. I'm not saying I understand what he's saying, right? But it doesn't. You don't. The reason why you won't succeed is because you're not around people who have succeeded. I'm telling you, you just need to be around people who have succeeded on YouTube, and they're going to tell you the exact way to become successful. They're going to skyrocket your business. It's not going to be about luck. It's just going to be about you being around the right people and you being around winners. Because the second you have that weaker link or that loser who's in your brain who tells you the things like it doesn't work. I'm not saying he's a loser, right? And he might be citing good evidence, and it might be reasonable for him to think this. But just believing that fact won't get you anywhere in the goal. Obviously, building an online persona online is important. It's almost mandatory in this day and age, especially with the dating market and everything like that and how competitive things are. And if you want to separate yourself from other guys, you want to have some kind of following, because that's going to make people, that's going to give you more value, right? And that's going to make you chase status, which is obviously very, very important. So it's kind of like mandatory for you to do. So to just like wipe it out and say, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore because the data says it doesn't work really well, is the same thing like, oh, I'm not going to improve my looks because my bone structure isn't good enough. Well, it's like, yeah, but try regardless. And like, there's plenty of guys out there who have poor bone structure but still look good because they maxed out everything else. It's like, don't automatically shut it off. If you're around winners, you're going to become another winner. If you're around 15 winners of 15 guys who are doing YouTube in the space that you want to be in, like that your specific niche, and you're around them 24/7, you're going to reach success too. And don't let anybody convince you otherwise, even if the algorithm is shit. It's just you putting in that value and talking, especially if you talk about the esoteric, like very, very niche interest, and like you go into the specifics of that niche, there's going to be someone on YouTube, whether you gain traction or not, there's going to be 1 or 2 people who watch the video in full, always, and probably more and more if you're just consistent, because they're going to relate to you so strongly. They're going to have the exact same interests as you. Like that's going to happen no matter what, because YouTube is very, very good at targeting, and like just having like those loyal followers and just doing that on a consistent basis, and you just keep getting better over and over, like daily for the rest of your life. And if this goes with anything, if you just have the same idea in your head every single day for the rest of your life, if all you think about is losing weight every single day, every single 10 minutes, every single 30 minutes, guess what's gonna happen, dude? You're gonna start losing weight. The same way, like, how do you expect to get rich and make money if all your friends are talking about dumb shit that you don't have? If they're not talking about money, if your friends are talking about CS:GO or like Fortnite, or like not even video games, let's just talking about different interests, like their freaking job at Ace Hardware, or like some job that they're working that has nothing to do with you, like coding. Again, coding can make you rich, right? But like, let's say, but then you have an interest in finance. How are you gonna get better at finance if you're around all these people? because nothing's going to be able to compound from that. It's just going to be you reiterating this like random shit that it's not useful to you anymore. If you want to start making money, you got to start talking to people who always want to talk about money, because it's going to reinforce in your brain. Then you're going to start seeing gaps in the market because one friend brought up a money idea and this makes you ricochet another money idea. It's back to him, and then he meets someone else who ricochets that money idea back to him, and he knows a guy who knows a guy, and you guys start thinking about the same thing because you guys have the same goal and you're interested in the same subject. It's all a bit like you just need to put it into your body and put it into your head, because then it manifests. But without this, you're screwed. It's a very, very simple principle, but nobody actually does it. That's really it, man. If you want to make money, obviously you got to be around people who want to make money the same way you do. You need to be around the people who literally just think about money. The first thing they talk about is, hey, well, how's the money? How's everything going? How's the business? Instantly, if you're talking to people who are wasting your time with dumb shit, who don't really care about money, and I know a few friends who are like, money's not everything, just get them out of there, right? You could be friends with them, but like that's not gonna elevate you whatsoever. It's not where your brain is at. If you're talking to friends who like, it's like being around the 4 out of 10 who thinks you're like so good looking because you're like a 6.5 out of 10 in your eyes, but like to him you're like a 9 out of 10 just because you do like the basic shit. But it's like our brains aren't the same way. Like your 9 is my 5 because of how ambitious I am when it comes to looks and when it comes to money and all of this, right? It's very, very simple, very, very simple principle. You're not going to get rich if you're not around people who aren't rich or who don't want to get rich. So that, and also just go outside more for more opportunities. Peace.